want to look at a real lesson, and that's what we're going to do today. I have a teaching professional who has gotten pretty confused with his swing. His swing has gotten worse, his playing worse. He's gotten further and further off track. So when he came today, we had some important things to look at. I'm going to come back after I show you the video I did with him, and I'll continue from there. So here we go with the lesson. Patrick was missing both ways, always an interesting way to start a lesson. It's always nice if they're missing one way, but both ways. He had a lot of pronation in his left arm. He could get the left arm high, but that left his right elbow low. That's how you can get into real uneven elbows at the top of the swing. Now we're going here on the video, and I'm going to step in front of him here so I can control the amount of pressure in his hands and the takeaway. So he's trying to get this club more in front of him, at least that's what I'm trying to get him to do, and not get that right elbow to pull in deep behind him right away. This is going to allow him to get less pronation with that left arm, as little as possible, and get the club up. Now when I get it up there, I'm trying to give him a feel of getting the right elbow higher. So his idea here is to take the club away more with the right arm, more right arm control, and not to rotate that left forearm, to feel inward with it and in close to his chest and up. So there we go. And I'm going to show you something here. Okay, I just drew a line in there for you to see how high I got his right elbow in this, preliminary part where he could feel a really different, because that right elbow was super low when we started. So I'm going to play a little bit more here. I'll leave that line up. So he's holding there, trying to feel it. Obviously the camera moves, so I'm demonstrating there, which is a big part of my teaching. I'm trying to get him a feel of letting that club kind of really freely go up to the top, where he's not really trying to control it so much. There's that pronation. That's how you bury the right elbow. I really, hate to see that in somebody's trying to get more distance, trying to take a lot of the thinking out of the swing. So he went flat to steep. And I'll show you some more there as we go through. So again, I'm just talking to him here about the right arm, the feeling of getting the right arm high. And that's going to allow that club to shallow out in the backswing. So here he's trying to give me some, how he feels it, which is great. I need to know how the student feels this. There, he got it up there pretty good again. So we need a lot of feels, a lot of practice here to get that feel. Again, I kind of get in there and feel this with him, try and give him a little more of a feel of getting that club up more on the backswing, and then it can fall down. And I have to show you something right there. When this club falls down, I drew a line through the shaft so you can see that it points well outside the target line. We call that step 5A, transition, and I want to see that shaft pointed well outside the target line. Now this does a few things for you. This means your hands and arms will go from a little high and out to more in on the way down. When you get steep, a few things are going to happen. Your hands are going to work from in to out, and you're going to lose your spine angle, you lose your posture. So I'm going to move forward here with the video. So that we're trying to get that feeling. And I'm going to have to add on a few things here for him to understand how to get more power and how to feel that shaft flatten on the downswing. So now I'm going up here and I'm showing him where the club is. The right arm's out a little further away from him. The right elbow's a lot higher. Okay, so there now I'm talking to him. There, he kind of flattened that shaft a little better. Now he might be still dropping his hands a little in, so I'm going to give him that feeling that he's going to be shifting and moving into the left post. Let me take that line away. It's a little bit interfering with this. Or something just happened, John. It just stopped. I didn't touch anything.
It's still recording.
Huh?
It's still recording. Don't just.
Okay.
I'll try to cut it.
Cut it back.
Just keep going.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the lesson here again. I've explained it to him. I've shown it to him. I've already shown him some tour players of how they do it, the move they make, and how the shaft will flatten, really because of the change of direction from the ground up. So here we go again with a little more. I'm getting him to now talking to him about as you go up to sit down a little bit also. I think that's going to come up here in just a moment. There's the fall to the left. There we go. And I was just talking to him about sitting down and getting that shaft to flatten out. So from the top of the swing, you don't want the hands and arms to drop behind you. You want the club to drop behind you. So there we go with a little feeling of using the ground a little better. And this is a big thing. If your wrists aren't too tight, which I already showed him, if those wrists aren't too tight, there's going to be a response from the wrist joints where the club will want to fall in just like it does in baseball. So now he's getting that feel. And he's getting that shaft to flatten out. Now, I'm going to stop this here just for a moment. Now, I stopped it in this section just before we got to delivery position, which is step 5B. You can see his hands got out away from him, and now he's got room to swing the club back to the inside, back to the left, without having to manipulate the hands. When those hands are in close to the body on the downswing in this section, and the club's steep, your hands will work in to out, and you have to use a lot of hands to manipulate the club. So this is really a great spot. This is where I'd love to see Patrick in his golf swing. So let me just finish up this lesson here. And now I'm walking over to my bay station where I can do the video for him. So anyway, that's kind of the way I went through this lesson. A good young player that was really lost after this too much Instagram series here of ideas and instruction. He did really good.